Beneath the broken streets of Berlin, the world's most infamous bunker was bracing for its final days. This was Hitler's Reich Chancellery Führer bunker, a concrete prison sealed off by 12 feet of steel and cement, where underground corridors echoed with every distant bomb and muffled command. It's April 1945. The Red Army is just streets away, artillery shaking the city to its core. Above ground, Berlin is a wasteland. Inside the bunker, history's most powerful Nazis are trapped, and the Third Reich is dissolving in real time. Adolf Hitler, already a haunted man, is now physically frail, his left hand trembling uncontrollably. He rarely leaves his map room, consumed by paranoia and denial as his empire shrinks by the hour. Eva Braun, the secret companion he would marry in the final hours, dances in the bunker's tight corridors, clinging to fragments of normality while the world burns above. Outside, the Soviets advance ruthlessly, shelling the city day and night. Civilians flee, but in the bunker, there's no escape. Every morning, Hitler gathers his remaining staff, Goebbels, Bormann, generals, to issue impossible orders, insisting divisions that don't exist will save Berlin. The atmosphere is claustrophobic. Stale air, hot electric lamps, and dripping water pipes. A cocktail of fear, desperation, and resignation. Magda Goebbels, mother of 6, moves in with her children. She claims they belong to the Reich, refusing pleas to evacuate. She writes farewell letters, her resolve chilling and absolute. Outside, Charité Hospital collapses. Shells strike mere meters from the bunker's thick walls. Each explosion pounds like a countdown. Witnesses recall Hitler's crumbling composure. One moment, fits of rage at phantom traitors. The next, a diminished whisper, shuffling along the concrete hallways. On April 22, Hitler finally admits out loud, the war is lost. His world collapses, but he makes it irrevocable. If Germany fails him, it deserves annihilation. He dictates his last will and testament, blaming Jews and generals for his defeat. An act of self-justification, even as everything he built falls apart above him. Loyalty fractures. Hermann Goering, once heir apparent, sends a telegram suggesting Hitler let him take over. Hitler erupts, orders Goering's arrest. Heinrich Himmler, architect of the Holocaust, is caught trying to negotiate independently with the Allies. Paranoia deepens. Cyanide capsules are distributed, pistols checked and rechecked. Most staff know suicide is their only escape. There's a strange final celebration on April 29. Eva Braun and Hitler marry in a tiny civil ceremony. Champagne, wedding cake, a bitter toast to lost dreams. Just hours later, Joseph and Magda Goebbels give sleeping pills to their 6 children, then poison them. An unspeakable act born of twisted loyalty. By noon, April 30, Soviet troops are just blocks away. Hitler spends the morning saying private goodbyes. He gives his dog Blondie a fatal cyanide capsule, testing the poison that will soon end his own life. Shortly after 3:30 p.m., Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun retreat to his small study. A muffled gunshot and faint smell of almonds mark the end of the Nazi leader, as he and his new wife commit suicide together. Loyalists burn their bodies in the garden above, desperate to keep them from Soviet hands. The fire is clumsy, incomplete. Soon nothing remains of the world's most hunted man, but charred bones. Inside the bunker, silence settles. Remaining staff scramble to flee or prepare to die by their own hand. Within days, Berlin falls. The Soviets claim the shattered city, sifting through the ruins for proof of Hitler's death. The Führer bunker, impenetrable for years, is gutted. Soviet officials pose for photographs amid the rubble where history changed forever. For decades, the bunker's precise location remained hidden. Today, it sits under a parking lot, nearly erased from view but never from memory. In these final days, absolute power dissolved into terror, denial, and dread. The 1,000-year Reich ended in blood, ruin, and the ashes of its architect. The last chapter of Hitler's rule was not conquest or glory, but darkness, regret, and the echo of distant bombs that he could do nothing to stop. What remains is not the myth of power, but a caution for all the ages, of where unchecked fanaticism, hatred, and delusion must inevitably lead. If you thought these last days in the bunker were chilling, wait until you see what happened when the Allies discovered the truth buried beneath Berlin.